and it's a goal kick for the Wildcats. Ball played out of the back. Number 13, that's Frazier. Into the middle of the field. Number 2 is Harros. Stolen away by Nangle, chip to Dunaway. Williams pressures from behind. Clears it to Harros, who plays the ball through. Boney, the center back, able to get there first, clears it out from the box to the sideline, and it's a throw-in for the Wildcats in the attacking third. Number 6, Preston Driscoll there to take the throw. Plays it in to Ribbage. Gets it to Williams. Williams gets pressured, able to get free. Being defended by Nangle. Williams makes a touch through. Ruben Brake is there to steal and plays it on a clear ball all the way back to the back line to Frazier. Over to Driscoll on the far side. Driscoll drops back to Frazier. Frazier one touch into the middle for number 19. That's Blankenship. Blankenship back to the near side for number 21, Beebe. Beebe to Ribbage. Connected to number 7, Rhodey. Ribbage plays it in to Harros, but too far ahead, and Stewart's able to come off his line and grab it at the top of the box. Rush Stewart to the far side. Clevenger gets the touch to settle. As he backtracks, looks for an option for Edson to make the run. Jacks Edson on the run as number 21, Beebe's there to defend. Edson challenges for the ball. Jacks Edson gets through the first challenge, able to win it back. Beebe steals back. Dunaway there to deflect. Ball to the sideline. Deflected again by Dunaway. Williams goes to the ground. Dunaway comes up with the ball. Williams comes in on a sloppy tackle and gets called for the foul. Hamlin with his left plays the spinning ball in. And Wingo there to grab it out of the air for the Wildcats. Wingo with his left foot, high ball into the air. Boney and Horton collide, and Boney's able to clear it back with the bicycle kick. Edson leaves it for Dunaway, finds Ben Schumacher in the middle of the field on the run. Goes all the way through to Clevenger. Clevenger looking, takes the shot from distance and sends it over the goal. Goal kick for the Wildcats. Restart out of the back. Ball over to Beebe. Beebe to the near side for Rhodey. Rhodey plays it on the ground up to Harros. Harros is there but is offside. And it'll be a free kick back to the Cougars. Hamlin looking to take it quickly, plays it all the way up to Brandon Schumacher. He's able to settle it down and tries to turn. Blankenship's there to clear. Break steps as number 14, Rilstone, is able to get to the ball. Knocked out of play and throw in for the Wildcats. Ball down the line. Break there, runs through to Boney. Harros gets to the ball, carrying it across. Hamlin pokes it back to the middle, and Boney tries to clear. Ball to the near side for Rhodey. Rhodey keeps it in on the line. Horton and Hamlin defending. They're able to clear it to Edson. Ball poked away back to Ribbage. Ribbage looking to get through, loses his feet, and Horton's there to clear. All the way back to Frazier on the back line. Frazier turns and plays the drop back to the keeper, Wingo. Wingo at the top of the box, settling, looking at a setup for the offense. Wingo with his left foot back into Ribbage in the midfield. Ribbage over the top for Rhodey. Horton's there, deflects it, but goes off of Rhodey's feet and back to him. Rhodey plays the slot ball in. Preston Driscoll there for the shot, and Rush Stewart able to make the save. Top spinning ball in the middle of the field. Brandon Schumacher being defended by Blankenship. Blankenship heads it in the air. Frazier wide to Driscoll, back into the middle of the field. Ben Schumacher there to steal. Poked away by number 14, Rilstone. Ribbage comes back to the ball, plays it over the top for Rhodey. Horton's there. Horton clears it out to the sideline, and it's a throw-in for the Wildcats. Quickly taken into the box for Harros. Harros in the box, trying to get around to the end line, plays it across, and Ribbage gets a touch on it, but sends it over the goal, and it's a goal kick for the Cougars. Goal kick to the middle of the field. Bouncing ball. Frazier's there, heads it back into the middle. Cade Williams makes a touch through to Ribbage. Boney steps up and wins the deflection. Back on the far side, Driscoll's there. Can't handle it as Clevenger gets to it. Has Clevenger over the top for Edson on the run. Being defended by Beebe. And knocked out a play, throw in for the Cougars. Okay. Jason Hamlin into the box. Deflected away by Blankenship. And it's another throw in for, oh, actually, it's ruled a Wildcat throw in. All right, back into the middle. Number 5, it's Tao. Schumacher finds Clevenger in the middle. Clevenger tries to make a touch on the run. Frazier there to defend, drop back to Nangle. Nangle from 25, carrying wide, defended by Driscoll. Back to Ruben Break. Break with time, carrying across, finds Nangle back in the middle. Brandon Schumacher comes in, cleared away by the left foot of Blankenship. Boney there on the sideline, looking to turn and shields it out of play. It's a throw in for the Cougars as Ruben Break, the left fullback, tracks back to take the throw. Break throws to the middle for Ben Schumacher, trying to settle it. Tao steals. Horton over the top for Brandon Schumacher to chase. Frazier's there. Frazier plays it high into the air. Beebe comes in. Williams heads it out on the near side, and it's a throw for the Cougars. Jason Hamlin there to take the throw. Big throw down the line. Beebe heads it back to the middle. Ben Schumacher tries to receive. Plays it back to Nangle. Nangle to Break. Ruben Break with some space in the middle to carry. Break gets into the attack. Tackle by Tao. And stolen back by the Wildcats. Ben Schumacher steals it back off the foot of Rillstone. Back won by number 19, Blankenship. Rillstone plays it down the line. Tao there, and Break's able to win the challenge and plays it out the sideline. It's a throw for the Wildcats. Harris there. Gets it to Driscoll. Driscoll to the corner. Being defended by Break and knocked out a play. It's a corner kick upcoming for the Wildcats. Number 9, Ribbage. David Ribbage, the junior midfielder, there to take the corner kick. Takes it with his left on the ground. Driscoll there gets a touch on it, still on the ball, and puts it right to Stewart on the near post for the save. Stewart top spinning punt back to the middle. Blankenship and Schumacher fight for possession. Ball goes into the corner. Frazier defending, drops it back to Wingo. Brandon Schumacher pressuring the ball. Wingo plays it out to Beebe on the near side. Edson pressures. Beebe on the touchline, able to keep it in. Back to Rhodey in the middle. Plays Harris through. And Harris was past Boney, but the near side center back, Horton, was keeping him on. And it's a corner kick for the Wildcats. Good job by Evan Horton getting back into position.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to let you know that this game is being live streamed on YouTube. If you'll search for New Heights Athletics, you'll find the live stream there.
Ribbage takes the ball short. Blankenship running onto it into the box. Back to Ribbage. Cross with his left. Tries to get the shot. Deflected away. And actually no deflection is ruled. It's a goal kick for the Cougars. "11 minutes into the game, no score here in Cassville." Rush Stewart there to take the goal kick. Plays it on the ground. Dunaway there. Bouncing ball. Chips it into the air. Cade Williams heads it back to Harris. Harris heads it over to Ribbage. Ribbage over the top, bouncing ball in the box as Rhodey comes in, but Stewart's able to get to the ball first and picks it off the bounce and secures it. Stewart with the side spinning punt back into the middle. Frazier gets a touch back ahead, Dunaway there. Falls to Brandon Schumacher with some space in the middle of the turn. Schumacher over to Clevenger. Clevenger carrying across, makes the nice cut. Clevenger with some space into the attack, being defended by Driscoll. Driscoll's able to win the ball back for the Wildcats. Drop back to Blankenship, over to Frazier on the back line. Send in the middle of the field. Horton's there to settle it. Over to Dunaway. Dunaway tackled by Williams. Ref says play on, and free kick called for the Cougars. Jason Hamlin there to take the free kick. Taking it with his left foot. Side spinning ball in, backside. Frazier jumps up to get a touch, but I don't know if he did, and ruled a goal kick for the Wildcats. I don't know how the broadcast is coming through on the live stream. It's very dark, and so I am also recording this, so I'll post maybe a higher quality stream video after the game. Blankenship to the far side for Driscoll. Into the middle, Nangle's there to steal for the Cougars. Tries to play it in the middle, Ribbage deflects it. Back to Driscoll. Driscoll down the line. Boney's there and clears it out to the sideline. And it's a throw for the Wildcats. Preston Driscoll there to take the throw. Gets it to Chow. Flicked in the air. Ribbon break, plays it back. Driscoll wide and out of play. Throw in for the Cougars. Clevenger takes the throw to Schumacher on the run. Blankenship defending and plays it out the sideline. Another throw for the Cougars. Brandon Schumacher there to take the throw. Looks for his brother Ben on the run. Off of Ben's back, and Frazier clears back to Cade Williams in the middle of the field. Williams turns, plays it ahead. Justin Boney there to steal it, gets it to Nangle in the middle of the field. Ribbage comes to defend. Nangle down the far side, plays it with his left, gets bumped off the ball. Ball loose in the middle. Ribbage gets back to it, plays it across the field for Rhodey, being defended by Horton. Rhodey still on the ball, carrying all the way across, cuts it back. Nangle there to deflect, hits off of Clevenger, and Nangle's able to clear it back to Tao. Over to Driscoll on the far side. Number 10, that's Ibarra. Ibarra across, plays it across the box, and Rush Stewart there, pick it up. Ref wants to stop play. I think there's an issue with the ball, maybe a little too flat. They're going to send that out of play. Drop ball restart for the Cougars. Rush Stewart back with the ball in hand. Big high ball into the middle of the field. Brandon Schumacher off of his shoulder. Ben Schumacher leaves it for Clevenger. Ties Clevenger wide to Ben. Ben on the run. Tao there to defend. Schumacher gets it to Clevenger. Back in. Defended by Tao. Brandon Schumacher challenges for it. Able to come away with the ball. Schumacher turns it wide. Ball clipped up to Clevenger. Clevenger looking for space, being defended by Driscoll. Driscoll there, gets a touch with his left to get possession and plays it back into the middle of the field. Cason Hamlin there, gets a touch but steps over the ball. Rhodey there in a transition opportunity. Number 24 is Noah Driscoll, and trying to hold the onside line. Rhodey a little late on that delivery. Driscoll able to get to it and takes the quick shot off the mark. Goal kick for the Cougars. All right, restart with the goal kick. First touch by number 10, Ibarra, but Brake's able to get to it. Gets it up to Clevenger. Clevenger over the top for Edson. Beebe settles it down and drop back by Frazier to the keeper, Wingo. Wingo with plenty of time. Over to the far side for Preston Driscoll. Nangle defending, Driscoll right past him. Brake steps up and wins the ball, plays it back ahead. Tau there. Back to Blankenship. Blankenship with time. Across to Frazier. Frazier looking ahead, plays it on the ground. Edson deflects. Ball falls to Beebe. Beebe into the middle for Williams. Williams back to Blankenship. Blankenship sends it across. Ribbage there to receive. Ribbage on the turn, looking for Rohde in. Rohde's on the ball into the box. And ball deflected by Horton on the cross. It's a throw-in for the Wildcats. Rohde leaves it as number 13, Frazier, comes all the way down to take the throw. Frazier takes the throw into Ribbage, drop back to Frazier. Edson comes in on the challenge. Frazier gets through, plays it across to the backside, headed by Williams. I'm sorry, but that was by Rohde. And goal kick is the ruling. Okay, that was a mistake. It's a corner kick. I was going to say, I don't know how that would have been out of play. It was off of Stewart's hands. So it's a corner kick upcoming for the Wildcats on the far side. The junior David Ribbage there to take the left-footed corner kick. Big ball over the top. Rohde's going to chase it, but out of play. And it's a throw-in for the Cougars in the defensive third. Throw-in by Hamlin, gets it to Edson. Edson trying to connect. Beebe's there to deflect it out of play, and another throw-in for the Cougars. Hamlin takes the throw. Williams gets the touch. Back into Noah Driscoll. Nangle there to defend. Gets it to Ribbage. Ribbage plays it through. Boney's there to steal. Boney across to Clevenger, but off the mark, and it'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats after the substitutions. So Ribbage, number 9, and Ibarra, number 10, take a break as Realstone and Harros check back in the game for the Wildcats. Stolen by Clevenger. Clevenger looks for Edson in. Beebe there defending. And all the way through to Wingo. Wingo with the left foot, top spinning ball to the middle. Boney steps in, wins it with his knee. Tau to the far side. Clevenger there to chip it over the top. Nangle trying to connect back. Brandon Schumacher steps in to challenge on Blankenship. He's able to get it wide to Preston Driscoll. To Tau, and that narrow field coming into play there as Tau cuts it wide out of play. Ruben Brake takes the throw. Blankenship heads it back into a counterattack. Noah Driscoll there on the ball, trying to play Harros through. Harros, nice touch into the attack. Gets into the box, actually lays it across, and Hamlin almost got the own goal on the deflection. Stewart able to grab the spinning ball out of the air to prevent the goal. Looked like Harros could have played that himself for the goal. Cason Hamlin down with an injury. Are we stopping the clock? Did they stop it? Okay, so the clock is stopped, 19:02 or so. 19. Are you the clock?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Oh, okay. 19:05 on the official clock. I can't quite see it from this position I'm in. All right, Hamlin walking off under his own power. Looks like he might have strained his hip flexor. Grayson Crumrine checking in the game for the Cougars. Will be a drop ball restart. Clock restarted. Stewart punts it to the near side. Ball bouncing and out of play, throw in for the Wildcats. Beebe there to take the throw. Back into the middle. Frazier over to Blankenship. Brandon Schumacher comes to pressure. Ball deflected, gets it to Clevenger. Clevenger into the attack. Driscoll comes back to defend. Clevenger across with his left, and nobody's there to connect for the Cougars. Restart on the goal kick. Over the top, Nangle wins the header down, or the shoulder down, I should say. Driscoll back into the middle. No call as Schumacher runs over Rohde. Nangle plays it through. Edson can't get the touch. And out of play, throw in for the Wildcats. Beebe takes the throw back to Frazier. Frazier over the top. Horton comes, gets the header. Grayson Crumrine with time, plays it on the ground. Cade Williams gets the step to win it back. Over to Rohde in the middle of the field. Rohde plays it over the top. Boney chasing back into the top of the box. And again, Stewart making it very difficult on his center backs to drop out of that rather than just coming up and playing it. And Boney does a nice job to clear it out to the sideline. Throw in for the Wildcats. Frazier down to take the throw for the Wildcats. Ball all the way in, over the top of the keeper. Schumacher there to head it away. Still in trouble. Cade Williams gets a header on it. Boney heads it away. Back in. And number 2, Harrows, scores the goal. Acrobatic bicycle kick finish
Goal scored by
for
number
the Wildcats.
2, Diego Harrow.
Cougars could not find a way to clear that ball, and Harrows finally took it with his foot. Bouncing around. (1-0) the score. It's always tough to take a goal off the board, but definitely could have been ruled a dangerous play with all the congestion in the box. Spencer Jackson across to Clevenger. Blankenship heads it away. Clevenger there heads it back into Brandon Schumacher on the run. Schumacher being defended by Blankenship. Schumacher to the corner and loses it out of play. And it's a corner kick up coming for the Cougars. Brandon Schumacher there to take it. Side spinning ball in. Goes through. Cade Williams clears it away. Grayson Crumrine kicks it out on the sideline, and it's a throw in for the Wildcats. Harrows off the side of his head. Williams heads it back in. Crumrine there. Williams back to Harrows. Boney settles and plays it into the middle of the field. Number 10, Ibarra over to Ribbage. Ball to the far side for break. Gets it to Clevenger. Clevenger carrying across. Has to play it through. Cade Williams able to get a touch on it. Spencer Jackson gets back to it and wins it. Dunaway drops it to Horton. Horton over the top. Beebe heads it into the middle of the field. Blankenship clears it back. Boney comes into the middle. Cade Williams settles and turns. Crumrine there to steal. Crumrine on the ground to Spencer Jackson. Nice touch by Jackson. Back to Boney. I'm sorry, back to Crumrine. Defended by number 14, Realstone. And knocked out of play. Throw in for the Wildcats. Frazier again coming all the way down to take the throw.
Another long throw in coming for your Wildcats.
Stay middle, Rush. Frazier takes the throw. Stewart comes up and wins it with his hands this time. Throw out to the far side for Clevenger. Big kick by Blankenship all the way back into Harros. Harros tries to do a heel flick and goes past him to Stewart in the box. Stewart back into the middle. Ibarra heads it to the far side. Clevenger and Noah Driscoll there to challenge. Room break with the ball, plays it ahead. Frazier in the middle, gets it to Cade Williams, to Noah Driscoll, through to Harros. Horton's there and clears it to the sideline. And it's a throw for the Wildcats as 2, 4, 6 Wildcats subbing in the game. All right, throw in after the whistle. Frazier there to take it. Stewart comes up and grabs it out of the air again. Like I said earlier, this is a very narrow field, so that throw in the attacking third is immediately all the way into the goal box, the 6-yard goal box. Stewart, side spinning ball into the middle of the field. Frazier's there. Can't control the touch. Gets the next one bicycled over. That's number 29, Harmon. Ben Schumacher there to get a touch. Plays it through to his brother, Brandon. Brandon trying to turn on Blankenship. Blankenship tightly defending. And it's a throw in for the Cougars. Take the big throw, guys. Ryan takes the throw into Dunaway, headed into the air. Number 4 is Holman. Gets a touch on it. Mangle there at the top. Being defended by Holman. Clevenger gets it, trying to find space. Clevenger still on the ball. Cuts it back. Step by Blankenship. Clevenger tries to find Ben Schumacher in on the slot. Frazier's able to defend and clear it away by the Wildcats. That was number 22, Ian Quick, on the clear. Zajac there, plays it back to Harmon, all the way back to number 21, Beebe. Beebe back through the middle. Horton gets the knee touch to Dunaway. Dunaway carrying, has some space in front, challenged from behind by Zajac. Zajac's able to steal it back. Ball played through, Noah Driscoll on the run, and Stewart in the box, able to pick it up. Stewart with the punt to the middle of the field. Bouncing ball. Schumacher will chase as Frazier's there. Frazier plays it out the sideline as Beebe chases it, but it's going to be a throw in for the Cougars in the attacking third. Crumrine coming all the way down to take the throw in for the Cougars. Actually, Edson's there to take it. Plays it into Ben Schumacher. Ben Schumacher trying to turn, gets it into the box with the left. Goes near post, but can't put it on frame. And a goal kick upcoming for the Wildcats. Under 11 to play here in the first half. Cassville Wildcats leading the New Heights Cougars 1-0. Logan Wingo, the senior goalkeeper, takes the restart. Goes over Horton's head. Noah Driscoll there on the attack. Driscoll tries to play it through for number 15, Essery, but Stewart's able to come off his line and grab it. He's a little bit too direct by Driscoll on that attempt to connect. Ball back into the middle of the field. Frazier gets the touch back ahead. Horton with his chest wins it down. Plays it over to Clevenger. Clevenger carrying back to the middle. Over the top for Jackson on the near side. And out of play back to the Wildcats. Throw into the middle of the field. That's number 25, Tate. Clevenger steals. Number 22, Quick, wins it back with space, plays it through to Noah Driscoll. Horton's there to make the steal with his left. Over to Dunaway. Dunaway, nice settle. Dunaway with room in front, plays it up to Brandon Schumacher, tries to turn. Schumacher across to Clevenger. Back to Schumacher, but behind him. All the way back as Boney plays it back in. Number 15, Essery, ahead to Driscoll. Noah Driscoll on the run. Takes the deep shot. And nice shot as it bounced right in front of Stewart. Stewart able to get back on top of it in time. That ball was kind of a knuckleball that bounced right in front of the keeper. Made it hard for Stewart to secure it. But it does get there in time. It'll be a punt away for the Cougars. Frazier heads it to the sideline. Number 22, Quick, able to win it ahead. Ball loose in the middle of the field. Dunaway steps to win it. Dunaway, nice move to find space in the middle. Falls to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher across to Spencer Jackson. Jackson one touch into Dunaway on the run. Dunaway turns, looks for Clevenger in. Clevenger at the top, gets a touch, takes the shot. And Logan Wingo is there to pick up the bouncing ball. Wingo with a big punt to the near side. That's going to go out of bounds if it's not touched. Nice touch by Zajac back to the middle. Noah Driscoll plays it up to Zajac. Horton plays it over to Dunaway. Dunaway, nice feet to collect. Back into Ben Schumacher in the middle, trying to turn. Schumacher finds Dunaway on the run. Dunaway makes a touch. Blankenship comes in to defend. Spencer Jackson back to Brandon Schumacher. Ball stolen back by number 25, Tate. Over the top by Harmon, and Horton plays it back in. Frazier heads it away. Harmon comes in and wins the header. And goes out of play. It's a throw-in for the Cougars. Grayson Crumrine there to take the throw. Throws it into Horton, who heads it back to Crumrine, but out of play, and it's a throw for the Wildcats after the subs.
Seven Valley Soccer Club players and coaches report to the end of the field closest to the parking lot.
6 Wildcats checking back in the game. 7 minutes to play here in the first half. BB there to take the throw on the restart. BB takes the illegal throw to Frazier. They let it play on. Up to Harros. Boney heads it. Boney defending with Harros, trying to turn. Boney's able to clear it to the sideline. It's a throw upcoming for the Wildcats. Throw back into BB. BB lets it run as he plays the drop back to Blankenship. Brandon Schumacher there to pressure. Back to Frazier, who lets it run again all the way back to Wingo. Schumacher pressures. Wingo makes the touch. Plays it to the far side for Blankenship. Blankenship one more to Preston Driscoll. Driscoll plays the running ball. And Stewart drags it into the box to pick up. Stewart punts back to the middle of the field. First touch by Tiao. Rhodes comes to the line and wins the ball on a nice slide, but finally out of bounds on the Wildcats. It's a throw for the Cougars. Ryan with the big throw over the top. Spencer Jackson chases. Frazier's there. Frazier chips it back. Rhodes to Beebe. Beebe across the field. Nangle there to settle with his chest. Nangle plays it right off of Brandon Schumacher. Schumacher's down as the Wildcats are on a counterattack. Rhodey on the run. Rhodey gets through all the way into the box. Takes the shot, but over the goal. And it's a goal kick for the Cougars. Schumacher back on his feet. Take a look at that again as Nangle's able to win that ball, and then Schumacher just holds still, takes it right off his body. Restart over to Clevenger on the far side. Drop back to Nangle. Nangle touches, plays it back to Clevenger. Nice touch by Clevenger. Has Brandon Schumacher running, tries to play it over the top. Blankenship plays it back in the middle of the field. Tau's there to play it to Frazier on the back line. Frazier to the far side. Break off the back. Falls to Horton. Horton gets it to Dunaway.
Walk, please.
And Dunaway with a ton of room in front. Ref blows it dead. Better be a card. Better be a card if you're going to stop that. All right, so Williams came in on the late tackle. Dunaway had 50 feet in front, and the ref blows it dead and calls it a common foul. It's the story of high school soccer, though. Dunaway back over to Jackson. Falls to Ben Schumacher on the run. Tau in front defending. Schumacher looking to create. Williams comes in and makes the tackle. Cleared away by Blankenship, back to the middle for Nangle. Nangle with some room, plays it back into Brandon Schumacher, but Blankenship steps and wins it. Dunaway heads it in. Ben Schumacher there, but can't get a settle on it, and it's all the way to Wingo in the goal. Wingo punts it back to the middle of the field. Boney gets a touch. Can't control as number 14, Reelstone, plays it wide. Back to Reelstone on the run. Into Harros. Harros makes a step to get through, and Boney steps up to clear it. Ball out of play, throw in for the Wildcats. Driscoll takes it into Tau. Over to Preston Driscoll, plays across for Ribbage. Ball deflected away, Nangle's there. Nangle on the run. Ref has a delay advantage on that one as Brandon Schumacher plays it back to Clevenger, back to Schumacher on the run. Schumacher trying to turn on Blankenship, gets to the ball, makes another move. Schumacher with his left deflected by Blankenship and cleared away by Driscoll back to the middle of the field. Boney, nice header, gets it all the way back to Dunaway. Dunaway over to Nangle, ball deflected. Harris is there. Dunaway fighting for it. Harris able to win possession. Fight for the ball as Harris makes the sliding kick to the line as Preston Driscoll's there. Boney defending. Boney's able to sweep it to the sideline. And it's a throw in for the Wildcats. Driscoll takes it quickly to Ribbage. Clevenger comes in to help. Ball's loose as Ben Schumacher tracks back to win it. Schumacher with space, plays it up to Nangle and Dunaway. Neither of them get it as Williams comes in to steal. Williams back across. Harris all the way back in the midfield. Makes a touch, but Schumacher steals. Gets it up to Brandon Schumacher. Can't control the bouncing ball. Schumacher still fighting for it. Able to get it. Being defended by Beebe. Plays the ball in for Schumacher. Comes all the way through to Clevenger. He takes the strike, but can't get it on frame. And under a minute to play, it's a goal kick upcoming for the Wildcats. All right, Wingo there on the restart. Back spinning ball to the middle. First touch by Ibarra. Ibarra is able to turn. Ibarra with space, break steps as Driscoll receives. Driscoll carrying to the corner, plays it back across the middle. Shot, and Stewart's there to make the save. Ibarra with the one-touch spinning ball back to the middle. Stewart's going to let the clock run down. We got to be in close to the. Did the clock not start? Oh, I don't know what. Oh, okay. So we missed on the restart. I couldn't see the clock, so they didn't start it for a minute. Clevenger to Schumacher into the corner, being defended by Driscoll. Schumacher back across the middle. Williams there, clears it into the air. Clevenger chasing. Cade Williams there with the knee to settle. Plays it over the top with the left. Horton chasing. And Horton missed touch as Rhodey comes in to challenge. Rhodey gets through into the box. Across for Ibarra, who tries to play the right-footed spinning shot in and goes wide of the frame. Goal kick upcoming, and that probably will do it for the half. All right, there's the whistle for halftime.
And that's a halftime whistle with your score: Cassville 1, New Heights 0. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight at halftime we are honoring players for Seven Valley Soccer Club that are participating.
All right, we'll take a halftime break here as we
season.
send you through the first half recap.
Seven Valley Soccer Club is the primary.
All right, we're back. The second half is just about underway. Cougars now going right to left. Cassville Wildcats going left to right. Score 1-0. Wildcats scored on that congestion in the box where several headers went back and forth, and then the bicycle kick by Harros to finish the goal. Jason Hamlin has not returned to play since straining something in his right leg, I believe it was. All right, second half underway. Dunaway plays it down the line. Driscoll there. Heads into the air as Ben Schumacher challenges. Hedges Clevenger lets it roll out the sideline, throw in for the Cougars. It's really hard to overemphasize how tight this field is. It's almost like playing on a U10 field. Clevenger leaves it for Break to come down. Ball thrown into the box. Brandon Schumacher there to settle. Leaves it for Ben. Ben back to Brandon. Brandon back to Ben one more time. Tries to find Clevenger. Schumacher takes the shot, and Wingo's right there to make the save for the Wildcats. Ball punting over the first line. Horton and Harros. Horton wins it back in the middle. Boney's there, clears it with his left. Then Schumacher to settle. Can't control it, though, as Williams comes in to steal. Williams drops it back. Schumacher deflects. Number 19, Blankenship, able to get back to the ball. Plays it all the way back to Wingo in the goal. Wingo over to Frazier. Frazier finds Tao. Wide to number 21, Beebe. Beebe connects to Rhodey down the line. Rhodey tries to get through as Crumrine steals, gets it to Edson. Edson back to the ball as Schumacher comes in. Tao steals, plays it over the top. Boney gets the header. Break on the near side, stolen back by Realstone. Boney comes in to shield, and Stewart's able to come off his line to scoop it up. Stewart with the punt back to the middle of the field. Ball lands. Clevenger gets the touch. Blankenship back to Brandon Schumacher to steal. Schumacher to Clevenger. Back on the 1-2 off of Schumacher's hip. Driscoll there. Schumacher wins it. Back to Clevenger. Over the top. Blankenship heads it away, and Williams clears it. Bouncing ball bounces past Break and Realstone and out of play on the near side for a throw-in for the Cougars. Ruben Break takes the throw, gets it over the first line. Frazier's there. Tries to settle it down, bouncing to the sideline. Frazier is able to keep it in. Good connection pass. Mangle's there to steal. Finds Clevenger. Clevenger leaves it for Ben Schumacher. Schumacher back to Clevenger. Clevenger looking for his options. Has Edson on the run. Beebe and Edson challenging for the ball on the far side. And knocked out of play. Last touch by Beebe. Throw in for the Cougars. They're in the attacking third. Throw in by Dunaway. Gets it to Nangle. Back to the middle. Realstone there. Plays it through. Rhodey chasing on the far side. Horton gets there first and clears it out of play. It's a throw-in for the Wildcats. Rhodey takes a throw all the way into Harros. Harros with the left across the frame and goes all the way across. Goal kick upcoming for the Cougars. Stewart there to take the goal kick for the Cougars. Tao with the first touch, heads it forward to Williams. Williams gets the touch through, but Horton's there to clear it away. Beebe settles on the far side as Brandon Schumacher comes in on the challenge. Edson there to help. Beebe gets through the challenge, plays it back in the middle for Williams. Williams lets it run to Ribbage. Ribbage into the box. Railstone on the backside, plays it across, and touched by Harros, but over the goal. Another goal kick up coming for the Cougars. Good action by the Wildcats as they got the ball across and then into the top of the box. It's a pretty rough surface, so it's hard to keep the ball on the ground. The balls come across and they take some big bounces. Stewart driving ball to the far side. Tao first to touch, Schumacher there. Blankenship comes in to challenge. Brand Schumacher comes away with the ball, plays it ahead to Edson, deflected by Beebe and cleared away by Blankenship. Nangle heads it back in to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher is able to settle, plays it over to Nangle. Ribbage comes to challenge. Nangle to the near side for Clevenger. Clevenger looking for the connection. Nangle making the run. Ball into a counterattack for the Wildcats. Clevenger defending on Harros, drop back to Driscoll. Clevenger steals. Clevenger makes a touch down the line. Gets pushed, stays on the ball. Clevenger trying to shield. Working to the corner. And draws the foul. Free kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher there to take the free kick. Schumacher plays it across. Headed in the air by Beebe. Nice head down by Williams to control it. Williams tries to play it through. Boney's there to win it. Back up to Nangle. Nangle wide to the near side for break. One touch ahead to Clevenger. Clevenger trying to connect. Plays the slotted ball down the line for Schumacher. Ben Schumacher there. Looking to make a move. These are for Clevenger. Clevenger back to Schumacher. Teo comes in and deflects. Ball falls to Nangle. Swept away by Frazier. All the way up to Harros. Break's able to get a touch to clear it out of play. And Harros tried to get away with a 10-yard advantage on the throw-in. The ref calls it back for a restart. Into Driscoll. Up to Ribbage. Good ball through. Stewart comes up and gets a touch and able to fall on it as Rhodey was making the run. Stewart with the punt back in the middle of the field. Headed forward. Frazier gets a touch. Clevenger comes in to steal. Clevenger into the attack as Schumacher plays it instead across to Edson. And Beebe's there to shield as Wingo comes up to pick it up off the ground. Wingo punting back to the middle. Horton's there. Bounces over everyone. Boney on the backside and Rhodey challenge. Boney heads it to the sideline. Rhodey's able to keep it in play. Makes the bridge touch through. Horton steps. Rhodey goes for the slide. Definitely dangerous play there by Rhodey. And free kick. Corner kick ruled for the Wildcats. Rhodey there to take the corner kick. Cleared away by Clevenger. Falls all the way to Blankenship. Blankenship back in, takes the shot, and actually looked like he may have been trying to set that up for Harros on the back post. And it's a goal kick for the Cougars. Ball back in the middle of the field. Then Schumacher there to win it. Looking for his options. Tries to play Brandon through, but Frazier's there to steal. Williams back into the counterattack to Ribbage. Ribbage to Harros. Harros with no one marking. Break comes back to help. and shot wide of the frame. Another goal kick for the Cougars. Jason Hamlin's going to check back in the game for the Cougars as Crumrine subs out. Restart with the goal kick. Stewart there to take it. Tao first to touch, but out of play. And it's a throw in for the Cougars just about midfield. Ruben Brake takes the throw down the line. Blankenship wins it in the air. Clevenger there back to Schumacher. Blankenship steps in and wins it out of play. And another throw in for the Cougars. Has Clevenger there to take the throw. Actually, he'll drop it for Brake. Ball headed in the air by Driscoll. Williams there to settle. Kicks it over the top for Ribbage. I'm sorry, that's Tao. Nangle steps in, wins the ball. Clevenger over across for Dunaway. Dunaway touches ahead. Williams challenging. Dunaway makes a touch to space. Williams defending. Dunaway looking for an option. Chips it back to Brake on the near side. Brake carrying into space. Challenge for the ball comes up to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher trying to turn. Plays across for Hamlin coming in. Hamlin with the left. Ball deflected. Clevenger there, and not enough on it to put it in as Wing was able to make the save. Deeper. Dunaway and Nangle deeper. Fight on the far side for the ball with Hamlin and Rohde. And out of play, throwing for the Cougars. Actually, they're going to rule that for the Wildcats. It's a sub opportunity for the Wildcats. Ibarra in the game, and so is Noah Driscoll as Realstone and Harris sub out for the Wildcats. 28-30 left to play in the second half. Wildcats holding a 1-0 lead over the Cougars. Dunaway gets a touch over to Edson. Edson carries wide. BB plays it back in the middle for Williams. Williams dropped back to Blankenship. Blankenship all the way back to Frazier. Frazier to Wingo in the box. Back to Frazier. Clevenger comes to pressure. Able to outlet it to the near side for Driscoll. Nangle comes in, gets a touch. Driscoll back to the ball. Schumacher steals, finds Clevenger. Clevenger still on the ball, looking for an option. Plays it over the top. And too heavy. Chip that over to Ben. Frazier with the ball, plays it through the middle for Ibarra. Over the top as Horton was dropping. Boney is able to win the tackle. Noah Driscoll comes in to challenge, ball wide to Edson. Jax Edson leaves it in the middle for Hamlin. Hamlin running through the middle with some space to carry. Hamlin into the attack. Williams comes on to challenge, goes to ground. Hamlin gets through it, ball deflected. Tao clears it, and Ben Schumacher touches. Going to the sideline, and couldn't tell what that bounce was. I guess it wasn't a touch. Yeah, it's a goal kick for the Wildcats. Lucas, you're too high. Like that. Boney wins the first touch. Ibarra there to challenge. Over to Ribbage. Ribbage into the attack, plays it through. Gets it to Williams. Williams touches. Brake defending. Williams able to turn. Takes the shot. Touched by Stewart. Backside attempt by Rohde. And defended by Hamlin. Corner kick up coming for the Wildcats. Restart short. BB tries to chip it back into Rohde. Hamlin's there to steal. Hamlin carrying across the middle. Rohde deflects it back. Hamlin clears it. Back to Driscoll in the middle of the field. Driscoll thinks about it, plays it back into Ribbage. Ribbage over the top and too direct as Stewart's there to scoop up the bouncing ball. Stewart throws out to the far side for Schumacher. Brandon Schumacher can't control it as Williams comes in to steal. Ruben breaks steps, plays it with his left, deflected by Schumacher up to Beebe. Schumacher wins it back, plays Edson out ahead. Frazier there first. Edson gets back to touch on the ball. Edson pokes it ahead, gets through, plays across to Clevenger. Clevenger takes the shot and scores the goal, and the Cougars have tied it.
Goal scored for New Heights by number 5, Titus Clevenger.
Jax Edson, nice job fighting through that challenge, able to play the ball across the face of the goal. And Titus Clevenger able to track it down, put a nice touch on it through the dive of the keeper, Wingo. Tied at 1. Navarra there to take the restart on the kickoff for the Wildcats. Howe back to the near side for Driscoll. Preston Driscoll there, connecting to his brother Noah. Back in the middle for Ribbage. Ribbage across the field, deflected by Ben Schumacher. Back to Blankenship. Blankenship, wild ball, nobody's there. Clevenger running in. Clevenger gets a touch into the box. Wingo comes off his line and able to get there first. Kind of a dangerous wild pass by the Wildcats. Wingo topspin ball back in the middle. Boney goes for the header through Ibarra. Ibarra is able to settle. Drops it to Ribbage. Ribbage looking for the ball through. Hamlin steps in. Nice feet by Hamlin to win it. Back over the top to the near side. Preston Driscoll there. Nice touch by Jackson, but Driscoll's able to win it in turn. Jackson deflects it away and throw in for the Wildcats. Driscoll takes the short throw to Tao. Tao chips it over the top, but out of play. Again, that narrow sideline coming into play. Brake takes the throw in. Goes through the first line. Blankenship sends it back in the middle. Ribbage is there to receive. Angle tries to step. Ribbage turns. Boney gets a touch. Dunaway back there to help. Dunaway trying to turn and draws the foul. It's a free kick for the Cougars. Cason Hamlin there to take the kick. Plays it up to Schumacher. Bounces over Ben Schumacher. Frazier back in the middle. Ibarra there, able to turn. Mangle defending. Back to Ribbage as Ben Schumacher defends. Over to Preston Driscoll on the near side. To Ribbage as Schumacher steps. Ribbage able to stay on it. Ball played across. Rhodey there. Lets it run as Hamlin's defending. Rhodey making a touch to the corner. Hamlin tries to step on it. Rhodey gets through. Up to Williams in the box. Deflected away. Rhodey across and deflected out of play. And it's a corner kick for the Wildcats.
It's a Wildcat corner kick.
Rhodey there to take the kick. 6 players at the back for the Wildcats. Ball sent across, and nobody's there to make the run as Stewart comes in to take it out of the air. Seemed like that was probably a mistimed play by the Wildcats. Big punt up top to Schumacher. Ball back into the middle. Clevenger's there. Titus Clevenger carrying to the far side. Clevenger gets challenged from behind by Williams. Dunaway steals it back, gets Clevenger into the corner. Clevenger still in play, being defended by Beebe. Looking for a ball across. Clevenger cuts it back to the corner. Into the box. Clevenger taps it to Dunaway wide. Williams comes in and steals. Left for Beebe. Beebe plays it down the line. Rhodey and Hamlin there. Rhodey tracks back to win it, plays it to the near side, and that's going to go out of play. Throw in for the Cougars. Big throw by Brake over the top. Tao tries to get a touch, but it bounces over. Frazier and Schumacher come in. Ball comes loose to Ribbage. Down the line for Rhodey. Rhodey gets a touch ahead as Hamlin's chasing. Hamlin shielding, touched by Rhodey and out of play. And it's a corner kick for the Wildcats, looking to take it quickly as Rhodey's hustling to the corner. He kicked the flag over when he kicked that. I've actually never seen that before. I'm not sure what the correct call is there. Clevenger up ahead to Schumacher. Brandon Schumacher turns, being defended by Blankenship. Frazier comes in to help and touches it out of play. Throw in for the Cougars. Clevenger there to take the throw. Actually, he's going to leave it for, he's going to leave it for Hamlin to come on. Hamlin the right back. Takes the throw short to Clevenger. He wins it down with his chest. Clevenger trying to turn, poked away by Beebe. And it's another throw in for the Cougars. Hamlin there to take it this time. Plays it to Clevenger. Clevenger again tries to get to the edge. Clevenger plays it across, and Wingo's there in position to grab it out of the air. 20 minutes left, game tied at 1. Wingo with the top spinning ball. Break late on the step, bounces over to Driscoll. Noah Driscoll into the attack, plays it across. Horton gets a touch, and Stewart's able to come off and grab it. Stewart punts it back to the far side. Spinning ball. Bounces over. Schumacher heads it back to Clevenger, back into the air. Blankenship gets a little too shouldery on that challenge and gets called for the foul. Free kick for the Cougars from about 45 out. Hamlin plays the ball in. Tao first to touch. Brandon Schumacher gets a touch back in. Then Schumacher tries to steal. Frazier there to clear. Over to the near side, breaking Driscoll. Noah Driscoll there, able to turn. Plays it down the line, but that's going to go out of play, and it's a throw in for the Cougars. Jax Edson checking back in the game as Titus Clevenger gets a break. Clevenger a workhorse tonight for the Cougars. Big line shift for the Wildcats. Brake takes the throw, touched by Driscoll. Knocked out of play, back to another throw for the Cougars. Brake throws it down the line for Brandon Schumacher on the run, being defended by Blankenship. Schumacher fighting for possession, trying to shield. Schumacher trying to get a turn, ball deflected out of play, and a throw for the Cougars. Quickly taken to his brother Ben. Tao there tries to turn, Nangle steps in to steal. Tao gets a touch back to steal it back into the attack. Ball up to Harros. Harros turns into the attack for Rhodey. Rhodey plays it across, back post, and Realstone making the run, but not there in time. Goal kick is the result for the Cougars. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a corner kick. There was a deflection on the play. Didn't see that deflection. Tao over to take the corner kick. Spinning ball across, goes through everyone. Sent back in, headed in, and that's a goal. That's Harros with his second goal of the day for
number
the Wildcats.
2, Diego Harros. Assisted by number 6, Preston Driscoll.
All right, take a look back at this on replay. The corner kick goes all the way across. Driscoll sends it back in, and nobody marking Harros, just able to win the header from the ground. Back to the restart. Wildcats back in the lead 2-1. Schumacher plays it up. Number 22 is quick. Send it into the counterattack for the Wildcats. Realstone gets a touch ahead as Hamlin defends, and ball falls to Stewart in the box. Stewart punts it away. Blankenship first to touch. Bouncing ball in the air. Harmon wins it over to Quick. Rhodey defending on. Oh, nice shot by Rhodey. Goes just over the goal. As Ruben Brake was trying to shield, Rhodey was in a defensive position, able to get around, win the ball, and take the shot. Jax Edson checking out of the game as Titus Clevenger checks back in for the Cougars. Stewart takes the restart. Tau first to touch, ball deflected. Ben Schumacher there trying to turn. Schumacher stays on the ball. Plays the drop to Dunaway. Dunaway being defended by Williams. Hamlin plays it back into the middle. Frazier there. Plays it to the near side for Driscoll. Down the line, Harris chasing. And Boney plays it out the sideline, throw in for the Wildcats. Big throw in. Williams gets a head on it and goes towards the goal, but Stewart is there to get the easy ball. Stewart top spinning ball. Schumacher heads it forward. Blankenship gets a touch, but Brandon Schumacher steals. Blankenship goes to ground as he clears it to Frazier. Dangerous pass back to Wingo. Able to get away with it as Frazier clears. Ball loose in the middle as Ruben Brake steps in. It's a touch up to Nangle, can't settle. As Harmon comes in, gets it to Tau. Over the top for Rhodey. Rhodey down the line as Brake's defending. Brake pokes it out the sideline and back to the Wildcats for a throw. Rhodey takes the throw short into Tau. Spencer Jackson there to defend. Back to number 22, Quick. Ben Schumacher there to challenge, and Schumacher pushes him off the ball, and it's a free kick for the Wildcats. Frazier takes it quickly. Break off of his shoulder, gets it up to Jackson. Jackson turns, ball deflected by Harmon. Up to Tau. Tau tracks back, dropping back to Quick. Quick into Williams with the touch ahead. Schumacher comes in on the challenge. Nangle gets a touch. Williams goes to ground. Back to Williams in the middle of the field. Ball played across to Rhodey. Rhodey gets to space, carrying across, break in front. Boney steps in and defends, and Nangle sweeps it away to the sideline. Another throw for the Wildcats. Ball into Quick. Drop back to Frazier. Frazier missed kick, but Blankenship chases for it on the far side, able to keep it in. Back into Driscoll, who plays it in. Ball deflected by Williams, able to turn. Williams facing, plays it in, deflected by Hamlin. Hamlin to the wide side for Clevenger. Plays down the field as Frazier's there, drop back to the keeper, Wingo. Wingo into the middle for Blankenship. Wide to Frazier. Frazier has time, plays the driving ball in. Hamlin there to win it down with his chest, but can't control as Williams gets a touch ahead, but out of play on the sideline. Back to the Cougars. Hamlin takes the throw quickly to Clevenger. Clevenger's able to turn. Clevenger tries to play it over the top, deflected by Driscoll. Coach wanted a handball, but ref says no. Boney wins the challenge, plays it to the near side. Tau gets to it. Nangle comes in, makes the tackle, and knocked out a play throw-in for the Wildcats. Wildcats have a sub at the line, so we'll take a restart on the throw-in. Cade Williams checks out of the game as Ribbage will check back in for the Wildcats and the restart on the throw-in. Challenge with Harmon and Schumacher. Schumacher gets it up to Dunaway. Can't control it as Ribbage wins it. Ribbage into the attack, takes it with his left, deflected by Horton. Nangle plays it to the far side, headed into the air. Ribbage back to it. Drop to Driscoll. Driscoll sends a backspinning ball in. Over to Rhodey. Being defended by Brake. And knocked out a play by Brake. Throw in for the Wildcats. Ball into Tao, but out of control. And back to the Cougars. Ruben Brake there to take the throw. Plays on the ground to Ben Schumacher, who chips it over the top. Quick heads it in the air and off of his shoulder. And Blankenship clears it out the sideline. Throw for the Cougars. Ruben Brake there to take the throw. Plays it in, deflected by Quick. Harmon there, swept away by Frazier. Frazier all the way across. Hamlin was able to win it. Bouncing ball as Hamlin tries to settle. Hamlin across into the top of the box. Hamlin with his left and chips it over the top of the goal. Goal kick for the Wildcats. Frazier takes the restart, punting in the middle of the field. Mangles there, goes over to Harros. Harros heavy on the touch and can't control it. Out of play on the near side. Throw in back to the Cougars. Jax Edson back at the line to check in as Spencer Jackson will take a sub. Just under 10 minutes left to play. Wildcats leading the Cougars 2-1. Brake takes the throw, gets it over the top. Harmon heads it away. That's another throw for the Cougars. Brake again there to take the throw. Plays it back across the middle. Bouncing ball. Brandon Schumacher trying to settle. Takes the shot, deflected by Frazier. Schumacher back to it. Schumacher trying to create. Frazier comes in and deflects. Into a counterattack for the Wildcats. Boney gets there. Harros defends and knocks it away. And out for I think it's a goal kick. I can't really tell. Yeah, goal kick. The flag's down, so you can't really tell where the corner is. Okay, they're ruling a throw in. All right, restart a play on the throw in. They're going to try to fix that flag that got kicked over on the corner kick. Ball into Dunaway, being tightly defended by Ribbage. And foul called on. Is it a throw in? Okay, throw in called for the Cougars. Nangle gets it to Dunaway. Dunaway trying to turn. Gets it across to Nangle, all the way across to Brake. Ruben Brake carrying. Frazier sends it back across. Touched by Realstone, but stolen away by Hamlin. Hamlin into the attack. Plays it over the top, but too heavy. And that's going to go all the way out. Actually, Wingo keeps it in. Wingo holding as Clevenger and Schumacher come up. And Wingo finally picks it up. Wingo punts it back to the middle of the field. Harris first to touch, Brake there to steal. Harris comes in for the tackle, deflected to Edson. Edson finds Schumacher. Ben Schumacher trying to turn, being defended by Harmon. Schumacher gets in. Schumacher, one guy to beat, takes the shot and can't get it on frame. Goal kick for the Wildcats.
Would all senior parents and members of Southern Valley Soccer Club report back to the end of the field to the right of the press box.
Cade Williams checks back in as Hugh Tao checks out for the Wildcats. Restart a play with Blankenship on the ball. Played to the near side, chip back in the middle. Nangle heads it down, trying to get to Edson. Quick there, plays in the middle of the field. Nangle steals. Up to Clevenger. Clevenger. Williams steps in. Nangle steals it back. And foul called on Clevenger. It was definitely a foul, but so was the challenge by Williams that won the ball in the first place. So it's hard to say what he's seeing there. Remember, in soccer, you can't leave the ground to make the challenge. So if you're in the air when you make contact, that is a foul. Back to the back line. Horton wins it to break over the top. Headed forward by Clevenger. Frazier's there. Frazier with the dangerous touchdown, able to get away with it as Preston Driscoll there to turn. Plays it wide to Realstone. Over to Ribbich, who plays it over the top into the corner. Horton plays it back into the middle. Hamlin and Driscoll there. Hamlin wins it. Hamlin with his left back across the middle. Need in the air by Blankenship, falls to Clevenger. Clevenger trying to turn, cuts it back to space. Clevenger up ahead to Edson. Edson carrying across, looks for Schumacher in. Blankenship steps in front and wins it. All the way back as Clevenger wins. Clevenger carrying across, plays it all the way to Nangle on the near side. Nangle makes the touch as Williams comes in. Down the way back to Horton, who plays it to Nangle. Nangle one more as Rhodey comes in and steals. Back to Frazier. Played down the line. Break comes in. Williams is able to win it. Up to Rhodey. Over to Harros, who looks over the top. Nangle coming into pressure. Good ball to Williams on the run. Williams in as Boney comes. Back post. And good goal by Cade Williams. And the Wildcats take the 3-1 lead.
And that's goal number 3, scored by a senior tonight, number 20, Cade Williams.
I think Rhodey had the assist on that, didn't he?
Assisted by number 7, Caden Rhodey.
Thank you. All right, line change for the Wildcats before the restart. Dunaway plays the driving ball forward. Frazier plays it to the far side out of play. And it's a throw for the Cougars in the attacking third. Clevenger there. Takes the throw into Ben Schumacher. Tao defending. Schumacher tries to turn to space. Schumacher still on the ball. Comes in. Working across. And cleared away by Blankenship.
He does.
All right, throw in for the Cougars. Break up to Nangle. Over to Brandon Schumacher. All the way across the field. And out of play back to the Wildcats. Back to Frazier. Frazier chips into the middle of the field. Nangle there for the ball. Nangle drops to Horton. Horton opens up to receive. Plays it over to Hamlin. Hamlin being defended by number 15. That's Essery. Hamlin all the way across, working through. Brandon Schumacher there. Schumacher with his left. And Wing goes right there to make the save. Wingo, big punt. Bouncing ball. Boney gets the first touch. Zajac there, deflected by Brake. And Zajac shields it out of play, throwing for the Wildcats. Up to Noah Driscoll, loses his footing. Brake there to steal. Plays it to Edson. Edson down the line for Brandon Schumacher to try to connect. And Frazier clears it over the press box. And it's a throw in for the Cougars. Edson takes the throw in. Frazier there. Frazier again clears it away. And another throw for the Cougars.
Right here, right here. It was 2 in a row.
Ruben Brake takes the throw, finds space. Blankenship steps and clears it away. And another throw for the Cougars. Brake back into the middle again. Bouncing ball, Blankenship clears it. Hamlin steps in, makes an acrobatic touch on the ball. BB clears it to the far side. Hamlin's there to settle. On the ground, trying to find Clevenger. Ball's loose in the middle of the field. Noah Driscoll there to turn. Driscoll gets through the challenge into space. Plays it over the top as number 3, Zajac chases to the corner. Brake comes in to challenge and knocks it out of play. And it's a throw for the Wildcats under 2 minutes to play. Oh, it's a corner kick for the Wildcats. Noah Driscoll plays the corner in. Angle first to touch with his chest. Tao drops it back to number 4. That's Holman. Quick plays it in. Hamlin gets a touch. Goes to the far side for number 25, Tate. Tate gets through the challenge. Stewart's out of the goal. Saved as Driscoll plays it back in, and Boney's able to clear it away. Dropped all the way back to number 21, BB. Back to Wingo at the top of the box. Schumacher comes to challenge. Drops to Frazier, or plays it across to Frazier, I should say. Frazier finds Tao. Over to BB. BB touches wide to Essery, but out of play, and a throw for the Cougars. Hamlin takes the throw up to Clevenger. Clevenger chips it over, still in play, and finally out back to the Wildcats. Frazier plays a throw in. Horton gets a touch. Boney plays it back in the middle. And handball called on the Wildcats. Free kick for the Cougars. Hamlin takes it quickly all the way up to Edson. Edson gets a touch on the ball. And that will do it for the game. Final score, Wildcats 3, Cougars 1.
And that's your final score. Your Cassville Wildcats 3, New Heights 1.
All right, we'll take an audio break here.
We will be honoring our seniors here in just a few minutes. And after that will be our JV game.